Going south. We're changing a little background for um, our notes. Not that it will matter, but since maybe we start the program here, let's try this and maybe get 15 million viewers instead of the usual 10. Going south. Jack Nicholson. Uh, I'm hesitating because what should I say? The best actor in the world for some time, for all time, for a few decades. Anyway, we have our own George Constantin, who was just as good. And Going South, in fact, is not an ode to, an homage to Jack Nicholson because it's not so successful, and it's not because I say so. There's another angle there. But because the Metascore, the average rating of the critics, is not really good. It's just in the yellow. It's just a 54 or so. It's more or less an ordinary film. That's the opinion of the critics, and influenced, primed by them. We're very influenced by words and what's going on around. That's for sure. I mean, again, not because I said, but because psychology studies have shown it. If you tell people words connected with old age, they move slower. And just random words and not slow down, pops, take it easy, grandfather, hidden messages like that. So, influenced by those critics or not, I tend to agree that this is not by a long shot one of the best Jack Nicholson vehicles, even if I find it entertaining at times, exaggerated, yes, and a bit unsophisticated to say the least. I mean, there's some parts there that are, if not regrettable, sort of useless, and therefore we're better off trying to see Chinatown. I mean, not trying to, we have to if we're into movies, otherwise what's the use. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, about Schmidt, perhaps the last great movie. Jack Nicholson was a disappointment for this viewer and maybe for others in the bucket list. So that was worse than Going South, which has some elements. What's the name? Mary Steenburgen. She's launched with this movie, so that's a good thing. Launched the career of somebody who went on to win an Oscar and to be a solid, very good actress. And let's change a little perspective again. And Jack Nicholson is also, as one critic has had it, yes, the debut, the start is wonderful. He's running from a posse and he's crossed the border, crossed the river. Supposedly, the men of the law, well, men gathered by the law, should not interfere, should obey, and should stick to the limit, but they don't. They cross the river, and the horse of the hero, anti-hero, it's a combination. That's also interesting. It's complex. It's not one-sided. It's not just a villain, and he's not really a good man. Has elements of both. So the horse of the hero is fainting. Oh my God! He sort of says to himself, probably, he is upset and he falls down, and thus the main character is apprehended, sentenced. There's no need for a sentence there. It's the Wild West. to be hanged. But there's a law which says that if a woman will marry him, he will be saved. He's married, he's hired more or less like a part-time slave to work at the coal mine, and then an interesting love-hate relationship develops. His old comrades in crime, partners in crime, come to see him. They want to rob the place of the gold, and that's the comedy and the thrill of it, more or less. But more or less forgettable though.